everyone. Hope you're having a good day. I've been having a pretty good day. I thought I'd do a little story time video today and tell you about how I met my husband. So I was 18 at the time, and I worked for the Kirby vacuum cleaner company, and I was walking the streets. That sounds bad. Anyway, I would go and knock on everybody's door and try to get leads for salesmen and sign people up for drawings that I don't know if they ever happened, just so we could get their phone number and their name and call them back and try to sell them a vacuum. So I was knocking on all these doors, and I would meet people all the time, cute guys and stuff. And this one time I knocked on Dave's door, my husband's door, and I signed him up for the drawing, got his name and number, and on the back of his little ticket I put "ooh la la." And I saw, I don't know, I just didn't pursue it really hard after that or anything, but within a couple of days, I think it was, one of the salesmen, one of the salesmen's niece tried to commit suicide, so we went down to the hospital. And there's Dave sitting in the hospital. He'd cut his hand at work. And I was like, "Hey, I remember you." And he's like, "Yeah, you're the Kirby girl." And I was like, yeah. He's like, "Well, why don't you come and do a demo? Maybe I'll buy a vacuum." And I thought, oh, okay, this guy, likes me. So I might be able to make a nice cut, a commission off of that. So I took the classes to try to be a salesman, and it's a bunch of BS, I'll tell you. Anyway, I couldn't do it. It's just scammy, and I thought it sucked, and I just didn't want to do it. So I took a salesman with me, and we did the demo. And after the demo was done, he was like, "Hey, it's a great vacuum, but if I ever want a Kirby, I'll just borrow my folks because they have one." So I told Sergio to go back out to the car and pack everything up, and then Dave asked me out and said if he wins that drawing, that I think it was like $1,000 in free groceries or something. So he said, "If I win the drawing, you'll have to cook me dinner, and let's go on a date." So that's how I met my husband. I knocked on his front door, and he always teases and stuff and says, "Yeah, I should have bought the vacuum. I would have got off cheaper." And we make other comments about it too. Only imagine things. I'm not going to share them. Just imagine. And you're probably right. And so we went on our first date, and I thought he was such a gentleman. And except I had just recently had a baby, and he took me to this place called Little Rock Dam in California, and in Palmdale, California. And he told me, I didn't know how to, we were riding these ATCs, those three-wheel motorcycles, and I just wasn't getting it at all. And so he put me on the back of the ATC, and we rode around. And years later, I was telling people about how much of a gentleman he was, and how he wasn't like an octopus and all handsy and grabby and stuff. And which I thought maybe, like I was saying earlier, he took me there, and I had to wear a bathing suit, and I just had a baby, so I was not digging that whole idea. Anyway, I was telling somebody, a client, about how wonderful he was, and he wasn't all handsy and grabby and touchy-feely and stuff. I mean, I gave him a hug at one point, and we had a kiss goodbye, but he was mellow and cool, and wasn't all grabby. And he said, "Whatever." He said, "I put you on the back of that ATC, and I went over big bumps on purpose, just so I could feel your boobs jiggle on my back." Seriously. Ruined my perfect image of him. Although he was pretty cool. I'm in love, that's for sure. So, anyway, that's our how we met in our first date. And he I thought he was hot from the very get-go. He's all muscular and ripped and nice, and he had these kind eyes, but he also had this badass look about him, like, you know, he could kick somebody's ass and protect me if I needed. So anyway, that's my little story time of how we met. I hope you enjoyed it. It was definitely not a boring day. And click the like button down below and the subscribe button. And in the comment section, tell me how you met your significant other or spouse or, you know, whoever you're in love with. I would love to hear the stories. So please put a comment in the comment section below the video. Thanks and have a great day. Make some memories.